I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar. We're going to talk about Dragon Medical One and the impending end of life for previous purchased versions of Dragon Medical. You'll take a look at Dragon Medical One. We'll talk about what is the impact of this change for those of you using prior versions. What are the facts about the end of life? Why might you consider moving to Dragon Medical One? And do you need to? The answer is no, you don't need to. We'll demonstrate Dragon Medical One and look at costs. So pretty straightforward agenda. Again, thank you for joining. My name is Ray Kuhl. I'm the CEO of PBSI Technology Solutions. And many of you connected to this webcast today know me, and you know PBSI. Some of you, this is your first exposure to PBSI, so a short piece of background. Nuance is the manufacturer of Dragon Medical in all its forms. PBSI is one of the largest Dragon Medical resellers and support organizations in the country. And we are a partner of Nuance. Our job is to help users who want to benefit from clinical voice recognition implement successfully, use successfully. So our role is we sell the product, but most importantly, we help implement, train, and improve the use of Dragon Medical. And those of you who use our support staff regularly know we've got a team of really competent, knowledgeable people. We've helped hundreds of providers with dozens of different EHRs use Dragon Medical. And we provide training that's either online or on-site, and we provide ongoing support. So our role is to help folks in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana use this product effectively. And you may have heard me say this before, but as a CEO of a technology company, Dragon Medical is one component of what we do, but it is my single favorite tech product on earth. Dragon Medical consistently produces results for every provider who uses it. And those of you whose providers are using Dragon Medical One, using Dragon Medical in any form, you know this to be true. So Nuance recently came to the decision to end the sale of all previous versions of Dragon Medical, meaning purchased versions of all kinds. And you may be using, I don't believe anyone in attendance is using anything prior to Practice Edition version 1, but there was version 1, there was version 2, there was version 4. For some reason, they skipped 3. And the last new release of Practice Edition 4 was in 2018. And since Dragon Medical One has been released, and it's clear, it has been clear for some time, but it's certainly clear now that Dragon Medical One is the future of where Nuance is headed. All product development, all product improvements are going into Dragon Medical One. You'll look at that today. So the one significant thing to understand is that in the past, as a reseller, we've been able to extend licenses. So out of the box, you get up to 3 devices per provider. And then if you need more, we've been able to get extensions to those licenses to install on more devices. And that will not be possible after this March 31st. So that's one potentially short-term ramification. But if you're not adding to the number of licenses, you will still be able to move a license from one PC to another. 1 year from now, the end of March next year, Nuance has announced they will end support. PBSI will continue to provide support, and Dragon Medical in all versions will continue to work as is. Of course, there's no such thing as forever because we never know what's going to happen with the next Windows release or browser changes. Things tend to happen over time that make prior versions of software have some compatibility issues. There's no way to predict that, but I can tell you for certain, I've been a member for the past 3 years of Nuance's Reseller Advisory Council. And so I've been involved in monthly meetings with Nuance management for a long time, and I'm certain that you will not find them to ever say, you can't use that product anymore. So you've purchased it, you have a forever license. But so one option is continue to use Dragon Medical. One option is to replace it. And we'll talk about the economic facts and why you might want to consider that. Personally, I recommend the move to Dragon Medical One. There have been times in the past where I've said, you know what, I wouldn't do that for economic reasons, but it's been clear to me for some time now that Nuance direction make sense, and they've really thought through how to make sure they provide quality product and support into the future. So why might you move to Dragon Medical One? So first of all, as with every product change that Nuance issues, Dragon Medical gets faster and more accurate. And they cite that there are 30% fewer errors reported with DMO. The product works more quickly than previous versions. One of the things we've seen is that with DMO, there are quarterly enhancements where we're now getting information 1 and 2 quarters in advance about what product changes are coming. And I can tell you from my experience on the reseller board that resellers are actively involved. We've made enhancement requests of Nuance and they've responded, and those things are in the product today. And we're going to see more and more in that. So that's something useful. You may know this, anybody who has historically used a purchased version, whether it's version 1, 2, 4, or prior versions, enhancements aren't made once that product is released. Bug fixes are made, but any new feature development, you wait until the next time you pay $599 for the next version upgrade. And now that's not the case. Every quarter, features are coming out, and there's a beta test program so that we've yet to see a quarter release of DMO where the product has not been completely reliable and done what it said. So you eliminate future upgrade fees because you're going to pay a monthly fee, and for most of you, that will be $79 a month per provider. I'll give you more detail about that, but that includes elimination of future upgrade fees. If you think about $599 when you go from version 1 to version 2 or version 2 to version 4, if you amortize that over 2 years before the next upgrade, that's $25 a month. So you've already covered a third of the cost simply avoiding future upgrades. Anyway, PowerMic Mobile, this is something that's new, and I'm going to be using my iPhone today. So you can use, instead of a PowerMic that many of you are already using, you can use your iPhone or your Android as a microphone. I'll demonstrate how that works. It's a feature that's embedded in DMO, not available with prior versions. Cloud-hosted voice profile. One of the main things here is no matter where you are, home, on vacation, wherever, you are connected to your voice profile. I'm right now speaking to you from vacation, and I'm in Florida, and my voice profile connects just as well from here as it does from my office or my home. And one thing that we've seen with prior versions is there's been periodic voice profile corruption issues. Those have been completely eliminated with the move to the cloud. So the flexibility to be anywhere and to have it work more reliably, this to me is one of the more significant things because we have seen over time just consistent profile corruption issues. Hopefully of you listening, none of you have had this, but chances are you'll know what I'm talking about. So with this, there's no upfront cost for Dragon Medical One, although there is an upfront training cost that's required even for folks using Dragon Medical prior versions. So there's nothing that we can do to avoid that. We've had conversations with Nuance about this, and I can tell you they will not waver on that. So there will be a $525 one-time upfront cost once you transition, but that will never happen again after that. There's a new feature called clinical calculators that, depending on your specialty, has some really useful things to assist in documentation. And for those of you who have complex installations, the more PCs, the more locations, the more variations in providers, the better DMO becomes for you. And those who use thin clients or remote connections, any remote connection operation is going to work more seamlessly and quickly with Dragon Medical One. So without further delay, I'm going to now move to demonstration mode. Many of you use a microphone, either a PowerMic 2 or a PowerMic 3. That remains the recommended microphone. There's really no good substitute for, in my opinion, for a device you hold in your hand, you push the button to listen, you push the button to stop. It's convenient, it's fast, it's reliable. The new availability of PowerMic Mobile, included at no cost, it's a free iPhone or Android app. Of course, you can only use it if you're a subscriber to Dragon Medical One. but this provides the same functionality. It's simply that you can get interrupted with texts and phone calls while you're dictating. So ultimately, this is not typically the only microphone somebody uses, but I'm going to be using this microphone when I'm demonstrating. And what I'm going to do is turn it on by pushing the button in the middle of the screen. And then there's a next field and a prior field button. These buttons are programmable. So I'm going to go through feature list, and the features have been renamed in some cases, but basically the same essential key features remain in place with Dragon Medical One. So I'm going to be demonstrating by dictating into Microsoft Word, and I'm going to talk about templates and the select command and things that those of you who've used this product in the past, you know these things, or hopefully you know these things. They simply work a bit quicker and with Dragon Medical One. So here's my cursor. Dragon's going to produce text at the cursor. What I'm going to show you now, this is Dragon Medical One presenting on my screen. So you can have it docked at different places if you wish to. So you choose where it is on your screen. It remembers this from time to time. It knows who I am. And what you're seeing here is this icon being orange says there is no connected microphone. That's true. So I'm now going to my iPhone. I'm going to pick on my app for my power mic. And now you see that icon color has changed. I'm connected to a PC hundreds of miles away from where I'm dictating, but with that push of the button, I'm logged in, and the application on my PC knows that there's a microphone now connected. When I push the listen button on my iPhone, that will turn green, and so you always know whether Dragon is listening to you. So I'm going to do that now and just speak a little bit of text. Patient is a 37-year-old male presenting today for hernia evaluation period. Patient's BP is 210/160, and I'm really concerned about medication dosage for this patient, especially Hyzar oral in combination with Lipitor 20 milligrams BID, period. Okay, so you can see that Dragon continues to be, and it's gotten better and better, but frankly, prior versions, at least version 4, were already very, very good at recognition. One of the things that's true is DMO now includes updated medications, diseases, ICD-10s, all kinds of things that otherwise, especially medications where you have to add into an older version of Dragon, now DMO includes all updates. So you can see it knows clinical text, and you'll see that Dragon continues to, just as the way yours works now, when I start speaking text, if I spoke for an hour, it would stay up with me for an hour. It's that fast. But you'll see that when I first started speaking, it appeared that it was waiting or slow or something. So it doesn't produce text until it has enough context to know exactly what I'm giving it. Is the speaker using a template name like normal exam or something like that, or a command like go to bottom or bold that? And eventually Dragon says, okay, this is text. Well, one of the things that's coming in an upcoming quarter release is they've made a change to allow the option for it to produce text as you're speaking. So you'll find that will be virtually real time with the speaker as you're going. So what you're seeing in the delay is not that Dragon is slow, it's just that it's deciding to wait until it understands what I'm doing. Okay, so templates remain a key component of Dragon, and I'm going to use one now, my referral letter. So I turned my microphone off here for a moment to describe, but as you may know, this works the same way in previous versions. The cursor stops at the first variable field. A variable field is simply 2 brackets, left bracket and right bracket. Anytime you put that in the text, that Dragon knows that to be a stopping point, and I'm going to turn my microphone on here in a moment, and I'll both speak at the cursor and then also I'll use a button, a next field button on my phone to drive the process. So here I go. For evaluation of lower back pain, period. Normal ROS. Select glands denied. Glands, unusual symptoms, period. We need to schedule a consult for this patient. All caps that. nothing that I can evaluate makes me know anything, comma, because I'm not a physician, period. Nothing to assess. Lipitor 20 milligrams TID. Okay, so I realize that what I'm speaking there is ridiculous clinically, but you see how the template works, and each of you know, or if you haven't used this product before, you'll certainly learn that you can have templates like this in any variety, and you put stopping places for fill in the blanks any place you want to. So that is a demonstration of some of the functionality using my iPhone. Now I'm going to a couple of things that are important for folks to know. It remains true that there are synonyms in Dragon Medical. Template, command, and autotext are all synonyms for the same thing. So anytime I say autotext, you could say command, or you could say template. So I'm going to now use make that an autotext and manage autotext, two of the most important features in Dragon. And these features are similar to, but other than speed improvements, and these features remain true. So for those of you who aren't familiar with these features, it's really important. Let's say I just dictated this set of text, and I say to myself, I know I'm going to dictate that same information again in the future, and I'd like to, for a particular kind of patient encounter, I'd like to document this and keep it as a template or an autotext. So what I do is I highlight what I want to save, and here's where a provider can create your own templates on the fly. I'm going to use a command called make that an autotext. I'll do that now. Make that an autotext. So again, I'm turning my microphone off, and I could use my voice where I can say simple template. See, here's where I'm not a good typist, which is why I love Dragon. And so it has taken everything that I had selected, and it already knows what the body of this template is going to be. And I've now given it a name, simple template. So I've just created a brand new autotext. So now I'll demonstrate how that works. Patient is here today and experienced my simple template, period. New paragraph. Simple template. Okay, so what's the difference? When I used those words in a sentence, Dragon knows it's just those are words, that's not a command. But when I pause for more than a half a second before speaking those words, yeah, it says, yep, there's a name of an autotext out there, and there we go. So now here's another one. I have a normal follow-up process, and I know I've given it a name, but I forget what the name is. So I'm now going to use this command called manage autotexts, which is how I find what autotexts have been stored in the past. Manage autotexts. So here in alphabetic order are all of the templates that I've stored, and whatever name I gave them, I click on the template, I can see what it is. Let me see, is this the one I'm looking for? No, it's not. What I want is, oh, 1 week, that's what I wanted, and normal, thank you. Okay, those are the ones I want. 1 week, select 1 week, 2 weeks, period. New line, normal, thank you. Okay, so you get the idea. You can have templates within templates and so forth. So this is just Dragon Medical on steroids. So feature set has continued to be improved. Hidden mode, for those of you who don't know this, there remains an excellent feature that you can accumulate text while clicking other places in your chart. And rather than producing text at the cursor, if you've got hidden mode or dictation box, same thing, different name, then both will work and allow you flexibility that you don't have to have the cursor where you want it. So let's say that I'm reviewing a patient's chart before I see the patient, and I want to start my dictation, but I don't want to have to come back to the place in my chart where every time I go to a different tab, I come back and add some more text where I'm trying to accumulate this text in today's exam. So instead, I'm going to turn on a dictation box. Open dictation box. Patient is here today for an evaluation period. I'm now reviewing patient's previous medical history period. I see that lab results have been getting more troublesome, especially the cholesterol levels period. New paragraph. I'm looking at the patient's social history, and I want to review patient's living situation today, period. Now I'm looking at previous exam results, and I want to make sure and find out about the wound that we discussed last time. Transfer text. And that's the way it works. So I was not really going to different places, but hopefully verbally you could hear what I was doing. If I'd been clicking at different places in the patient's chart, then it would have been just accumulating that text. So it's simply a feature that allows you to accumulate text. And Dragon Medical 1 does not suffer from the same speed issues that previous versions do when remotely connected, but it is always, the dictation box is always the way to eliminate speed issues if you're having response time problems because of a remote connection issue. Okay, back to my list. I'm going to butcher some text here. This has just gotten better and better and better. It may not do this perfectly, but Dragon just continues to get better at recognizing poor speech patterns. Patient is here today for an evaluation of their pain they find difficult to describe, period. Select pain I find, pain they find. So it didn't do perfectly, but frankly, usually it does do perfectly, even no matter how badly I try and butcher the dictation. So this just gets better and better. I'm going to now demonstrate a new feature in Dragon Medical 1 that, again, this is beneficial or not based on your specialty. What can I say? So I could have gone straight to manage clinical calculators, but I just demonstrated another thing. If you don't know formatting commands or what commands, you can always choose what can I say. And now I'm going to look at clinical calculators. So clinical calculators are built in to DMO, and let me see, I'm just going to manage clinical calculators. Open clinical calculators. Okay, so I've turned my microphone off. Here in alphabetic order are the clinical calculators that are built in. And again, depending on your specialty, you'll recognize that in whichever one of these I select, there are defaults that can be set and there are prompt places. But the idea of these clinical calculators is they're going to result in some kind of mathematical scoring. So if I choose this one, then it would work this way. I'll choose a clinical calculator, and I can, this one had previous default set, so I can make clicks, and then, or I can click none of these. I can go to references that are on the web related to this condition, but when I'm finished, I can say transfer. And what it does, there was this first bit of text that was already on there, is it brings in all of the text associated with what I just did, including a calculation at the end. I guess in this case, there is no calculation, but you can see that in a typical EHR where you may have these kind of questions already built in, then you really don't need the clinical calculator to do this, but it's been very specifically learned and evaluated that a bunch of EHRs just don't handle this kind of thing as efficiently. So now you can benefit from basically automated templates based on specialty. And with that, I'm going to move now to talking about training. Training is included with DMO. So even if you have a long history of use of Dragon Medical, you get free included training with the pricing. So if you want to take advantage of that, with PBSI, we provide 2 training sessions per provider. So we can really help you hone your expertise of use. So here is the cost of Dragon Medical One. There are 3 options. $79 is what most people will do. That is for a 3-year subscription at $79 a month. A 1-year subscription is $99 a month. A 2-year subscription is $89 a month. 3-year, $79 a month. This is transferable from new provider to old provider, unlimited installs on unlimited number of devices, and implementation is included. So PowerMic Mobile, which we provide at discounted prices, and scheduling, actually second online training session is included. So if you wanted additional online training sessions, we can schedule those also. But most people, $525 up front plus $79 a month. That's the economic fact. And when it comes to economics, $79 a month, divided by 4 weeks a month, $20 a week, it's the payback to eliminating or greatly reducing the amount of typing done is pretty clear. And many of you listening, some of you, you don't use Dragon Medical One or Dragon Medical now, but for most of you listening, you know that the benefits of this product are easily justifiable. The question is, do you move to the new product? And that's where you have a choice. That's where we come in to answer questions and do follow-up. So we're finished with content today. I want to thank you for your attendance. You're welcome to log off anytime, but I'm going to stay online now to take questions. And I just want to summarize that anybody who would like a one-on-one demonstration or a free quotation, just let us know. Here's our general contact. Here's my contact information. Feel free to get in touch with questions anytime. So thank you for your attendance, and I'm going to stop recording now. Thanks. I hope everybody has a good day.